There is the green flag waved at the back. So on the right-hand side of shot, the black car with the red roll cage is number 19, Daniel Garrett. Next to him, the black and white car of number 90, Tortola, who yesterday finished eventually in 8th position. Second row is the similar car of Alan Harmon, then it's Sean Brayman, the red and green car, as the lights go out and the race gets underway. Field storms off down towards Copse Corner for the opening lap, and it is looking like it's Daniel Garrett that's in the lead of the race, possibly from Alan Harmon next to him in second place. And I think for Tortola in third position as they head down towards Maggots and Beckett. Sean Brayman is certainly in fourth, then it's Ryan Garrett in fifth. Paul Clark in the green car is trying to make a bit of a move on the inside line, and it was Lewis Ward trying to make a move on the outside line, which didn't really come to anything.
Lewis Ward going very, very wide. That black car with the blue roll cage on it, championship leader, of course, so not an ideal start to this race. It's a bit mired in the pack, and he's got cars chasing him down the start-finish straight. We've had a change for the lead already with Alan Harmon from fourth position on the grid. That's similar livery to Daniel Garrett, but he leads the pole sitter now going into Brooklands. It's Sean Brayman in third position now ahead of Tortola, and then the all red car of Ryan Garrett, the 99 machine, ahead of Paul Clark.
Coming up towards the end of the first lap then in this Yokohama Locost Championship race, over the line they go, and it is Harmon then leading by 73 thousandths of a second from Daniel Garrett. Brayman third, Tuller fourth, Ryan Garrett in fifth, and Paul Clark in sixth. 1.4 seconds covering those six as they went across the line that time. But it's still a big leading group of more than 10 cars, I think, really. Take a little while to sort this out. This is the kind of racing we like at Silverstone. A big pack of slipstreaming low costs can be absolutely spectacular. That's Sean Brayman. There was contact, wasn't there?
Yeah, contact with the left rear corner of Daniel Garrett, and that was as Tortola was trying to come around the outside of the pair of them as well, and luckily they've just been able to survive that moment. I thought for a moment that Garrett was going to be pitched into a spin, but they managed to get away with it. Brayman's now taking Tortola back on the inside. Big look up, and that time they're not going to survive the contact. Around goes the 52 of Alan Harmon.
And he spins, and there's another one spinning in sympathy on the way into the corner. Couldn't quite see the number on that car, but they've both got game. But Harmon it was that was off there. Oh, it's Brayman is off. He's out of the race. He's got a broken front corner on the car, I think.
Yeah, I think the front right probably took a hit when he made contact there with Harmon, and so, well, he got away with it once, did not get away with it a second time, and that has given Daniel Garrett clear sky in the front of the field. 1.5 seconds clear of his older brother Ryan now.
Yeah, it's Daniel leading, Ryan second. Paul Clark is in third place in the green and yellow car. Fourth place is Tortola, fifth is Lewis Ward, sixth is Jack Linus. But look at that lead for Dan Garrett. It might be tough for the pack to close that gap, I'm afraid. Well, not from Dan's point of view, but from everyone else's. And as a spectacle, looks like Dan Garrett's in a good position here, but Ryan has now got another job of trying to keep everyone else behind him. You can see the yellow light panel flashing there, so they need to get themselves back into line. There's a car heading down pit road. It's the 18 car of Rory Mallinson, who's not had a happy weekend. He was a retirement from yesterday's race as well, I seem to remember. He's out of the race again today.
So battle for second position resumes when they hit the green flag zone. It's led by Ryan Garrett in that red number 99 car, and then the green and yellow machine of Paul Clark in third, the black and white number 90 of Tortola, and then Lewis Ward, who is practically inside of Tortola's machine, pushing it down the start and finish straight in fifth position, but doesn't do anything with that. Remember, there's a tactical racing here. You don't always show your cards. I think they've realised they need to work together to close the gap to Dan Garrett. It's not really working at the moment because he pulled out another 0.3 of a second on that previous lap, and so Lewis Ward's decided, I've had enough. I'm going to start carving my way through the pack and around the outside of Tortola to take fourth position away around the outside of Beckett's.
Yeah, so there you can see this sort of snake forming. They follow one another like a snake down the straight. It's Daniel Garrett leading. I think that gap might have come down a bit, actually, over Ryan Garrett and Paul Clark, and now Lewis Ward. It certainly has come down, hasn't it, from 1.8 seconds at the start of the lap. So we might have a race on here for the lead. There's the number 90 car of Tortola. You can see he's got a camera mounted on the roll cage. I'm sure that'll be getting some excellent footage that you'll be able to watch back after the race.
Paul Clark's got a good run out of Luffield for second position on Ryan Garrett. We're about to see what the lead gap is going to be, because we do think it has come down since the start of the lap. Yeah, by 1.6 seconds, and Ryan Garrett's right with his brother now, Daniel Garrett, as they head into Copse Corner. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, it's about 11 of them in this lead train of cars. It was only 3.2 seconds that separated the top 11 when they went over the timing line. The two brothers leading the field, as they did briefly yesterday, but with an awful lot of pressure from behind.
Interestingly, the top two were the only two not to improve their lap times of anyone in the top 10 on that last lap. It was a notably slow lap from Daniel Garrett. So I don't know if he had a problem, or if he made a mistake, or if he was just letting his brother catch up and wanted to make a race of it. Who knows?
A 1:12.9 best lap from Daniel Garrett versus 1:15.7 last time around. But that's Lewis Ward on the inside of Paul Clark into Brooklands. That's third place now for the championship leader in that number 4 black and blue machine. He's now going to set his sight on the Garrett brothers.
Yeah, absolutely right. And they're well in striking distance, I would suggest. This pack of 10 or 11 cars making its way through Luffield and Woodcote Corner. This is the completion of lap number 5. Over the line they go again, and the gap is still around about 0.2 of a second, but this time it's Daniel Garrett that does the best lap of the race, a 1:11.932. So from a 1:15 to a 1:11, quite an inconsistency in his lap time, shall we say. Ryan also did a personal best, as did Lewis Ward in third place, and he's about 8 tenths behind the top two here as they make their way down to Maggots and Beckett's. Daniel Garrett ahead of Ryan. Side by side a bit further back, that is Jack Linus coming through, I think.
Yep, but Rob Apsey's come with him though, so they're disputing 4th and 5th at the moment, and Apsey's made up 2 places since the start of the lap, which is particularly good going on Tortola and Paul Clark. They are also side by side, with Apsey on the inside of Linus for 4th, Tuller on the inside of Clark for 6th as well, I believe. Holding the inside line is Jack Linus when they go through Luffield. Still Tuller and Clark giving it hammer and tongs just behind them as well, with Clark, the green and yellow car, on the inside. And once again, Rob Apsey with a good run out of Luffield, so surely they'll go side by side. But top 3 pulling a little bit of a gap. Lewis Ward's closed up. It's 3/4 of a second between the top 3 now, with Apsey leading a sort of second group of cars now over Jack Linus with Tortola, and then Paul Clark, and then Glyn Griffiths just behind them.
Yeah, that next group, the second group of 8 cars, is separated by only 2.3 seconds, but there's a distinct gap now opening up between the top 3 and the rest. Rob Apsey, the accountant from Brighton, at the head of this group, though, ahead of Jack Linus, even the number 13 car, 29-year-old design engineer from Chelmsford in his 3rd season of racing.
Lee M, I think, trying to take advantage of a little sideways moment for Glyn Griffiths, but up at the front of the field, it's a brotherly swap, because Ryan Garrett's on the inside, but that has allowed Lewis Ward to go through as well. So Daniel Garrett, the erstwhile race leader, has yielded that top spot for now and settled into 3rd position. Something tells me that that is a slightly tactical manoeuvre.
May well be, because we've still got 6.5 minutes to go in this race, and you don't necessarily want to be leading this race going on to the final lap, or even into the final few corners. If you're close enough to mount an attack, then you can certainly do that.
And traffic is going to play a part as well, as we're 3 wide on the start and finish straight for the lead of the race, heading towards Copse Corner. So it's Daniel Garrett on the inside line, his brother Ryan in the middle, and Lewis Ward on the outside, and that is how they emerge, with Daniel leading, Ryan leading Lewis Ward, trying to round out that back marker as well as they come through. But on the exit of the corner, it is Ryan Garrett who continues gets back through, and Lewis Ward goes back through as well. And so for all the swapping they did at Copse, they're back in the same order they started the lap in as they come out of Beckett's, although Daniel Garrett is challenging Lewis Ward back on the outside and just about squeezed through on the edge of the racetrack to get back into 2nd place.
Yeah, so these 3 having made a break, 2 seconds or so clear of the rest. Lewis Ward, who's got the fastest lap of the race now, 1:12.747, nearly as quick as Sean Braham's lap from yesterday. But he's dropped back to third behind Daniel Garrett. Oh, and a spin for number 31, that's Glenn Griffiths.
From 8th position, so he was right in the thick of that second group that were disputing 4th position. And someone was bound to come a cropper eventually in that one, weren't they? 5 minutes to go then, and once again it's another swap at the front of the field with Daniel Garrett now leading as they go into Copse Corner. Lewis Ward had a look on the inside of the elder Garrett, but didn't manage to find a way through. And their squabbling is just starting to bring back that second train of cars led by Rob Apsey. The gap came down by about 0.6 of a second last time around.
Yeah, certainly a big chunk taken out of the lead group. Apsey trying to take Jack Linus and Tortola with him as well. So the Garrett's back out in front. Ryan now ahead of Daniel. Sorry, Daniel ahead of Ryan once again. And then Lewis Ward trying to get ahead of Ryan this time. Up the inside into Brooklands. Doesn't quite get the overlap, so has to stay behind for the moment at least. But yeah, Rob Apsey looks a bit closer than he was. It was 1.3 seconds, third to fourth. We'll see if that's still the same at the end of this lap, or if the battling for second and third has brought the next group closer to the leaders again. Probably now got 4 laps to go in this race, I would suggest. It's going to be tight, but I think it'll be 4 laps to make it a 13-lap race. The different lines being taken by drivers down the start and finish straight. It's Daniel Garrett that comes out in front as they turn into Copse, with quite a decent advantage actually over Ryan, and then Lewis Ward in third. The gap went out again from third to fourth, up to 1.9 seconds, despite well, Jack Linus has done a personal best lap now and got ahead of Rob Apsey for fourth.
Yeah, it was 7/10 that Daniel Garrett managed to pull on that last lap, but Lewis Ward now into second position as side by side for fourth, with Rob Apsey retaking Jack Linus on the inside at Beckett's. Tortola and that black and white machine waiting in the wings as well, catching the tow from the 2 cars in front of him, as Ryan Garrett looks to retake second from Lewis Ward at the end of the back straight into Brooklands. But it is the championship leader ahead, just about. Had a little bit of a wiggle though, so Garrett pulls up alongside, but the track comes to Lewis Ward as he's got the inside line for Luffield. This is music to the ears of Daniel Garrett, who I'm sure is going to continue to pull away.
Yeah, with the 3 laps to go now, I reckon, something like that, as they cross the line this time. And it's Daniel Garrett with a lead of a second here, 1.033 all of a sudden over Lewis Ward and Ryan Garrett. Rob Apsey another 2 seconds behind Ryan Garrett in fourth position, so that's a definite gap between those two. So can Daniel Garrett just cement this gap this time, or is it going to be rescinded once again? Here's Rob Apsey and Jack Linus side by side for fourth position. Linus is demoted there in number 13 by Rob Apsey before the cars arrive at Beckett's. So Apsey number 73 goes back through ahead of the 13 car, but it may well be that Linus can get the cut back on the exit of the corner. Also in there is Tortola, Liam, Paul Clark, and I think Brad Horstel's got ahead of Clark for 8th place since the beginning of this lap. Here are the 2 leaders.
I say Lewis Ward got very close to the rear of Ryan Garrett's car, and the 99's gone wide into Brooklands. There's role reversal from the previous lap, with Garrett now on the inside line going through the right-hander. Ward's got to go the long way round, which is easier said than done, and it looks like we're going to have 2 laps to go now, and so they've worked out where they have the advantage, where they can make the moves. They've got to start doing them and doing them at the right time. Side by side for second position, Lewis Ward, championship leader in that number 4 car on the outside, but backs out of that one. Ryan Garrett's able to take up the racing line.
Certainly is. So 2 laps to go, just under that now, in this Yokohama Locost Championship race, being led by Daniel Garrett, who's looking for his 3rd victory of the season here. Will Ryan, or indeed Lewis Ward, the championship leader, have anything to say about that? Lewis Ward's been more consistent so far this season than Daniel, hence his lead of the championship. But Ward in 3rd place isn't really close enough to do anything about them. It's Linus 4th, Apsey 5th, and I think Liam in 6th position as that group headed off up the Wellington Straight. Now Ward here, surely in the big tow given away by these low costs, not well known for their aerodynamicism, the low cost chassis.
Yeah, he's hanging back.
He's hanging back. He's going to save that for the next lap. I think he's realised that Daniel Garrett's probably out of reach now, isn't he? So
yeah.
Let's just focus on the one car in front of me, the red one, and that is Ryan Garrett.
Yeah, absolutely. So he knows that the win is gone at this point. So if he can get second place away from Ryan Garrett once again, just as he was last time round, we start the final lap of the race. It's Ward on the outside line. That train of cars for fourth position as well, led by Jack Linus over the line, with Lee M now in fifth position ahead of Rob Apsey and Bradley Hornsnell ahead of Tortola. Paul Clark at the back of that queue as well. That's definitely going to be one to keep an eye on, but we keep our focus on the battle for second position, because Ryan Garrett is still leading Lewis Ward going into Beckett's. Around the outside comes Lee M in that number 5 black and gold machine as well on Rob Apsey, so he's actually lost a place there to the number 73 machine. But keep your eye on the black and blue machine of Lewis Ward. He's been backing out of moves over the last 3 laps, and now on the inside manages to take second place away from Ryan Garrett. Does he get it stopped? He's run very, very wide. That allows Garrett to go straight back through.
Well, it was well planned, wasn't it? As Paul Clark spins at Brooklyn Scott, he'll get that car turned around. But yeah, it was well planned by Lewis Ward, but then he was, just too deep into the corner, and it's Ryan Garrett saying thank you very much and squeezing back through on the inside. So Daniel Garrett takes the win, then his third of the season by 2.5 seconds, a margin that flatters him somewhat, I think. Ryan Garrett second, Lewis Ward third, Jack Linus. I mean, look at that, an absolute blanket finish between those 3. Jack Linus, Rob Apsey and Lee M were separated by about 0.16 seconds in the end for 5th, 6th, or 4th, 5th and 6th, and Bradley Horstnell 7th, Paul Clark 8th. Daniel Russell 9th, and Tortola completing the top 10, so he dropped back a little bit as that race went on, eventually finishing just inside the top 10. But again, a very competitive race for the Yokohama Low-Cost Championship. Final few cars just about to come through to take the checkered flag. We lost, I think, 3 in that race. Sean Prame we saw retire with some damage, and a couple to the pit lanes as well, Rory Mallinson and the 66 car of Luke Stokes as well. But here are those that did finish. Number 19, Daniel Garrett, the winner at the end of 13 laps. He won by 2.5 seconds from number 99, his brother, Ryan Garrett. Third was number 4, Lewis Ward. 4th, number 13, Jack Linus. In 5th position, number 73, Rob Apsey. 6th was number 5, Lee M. Then 7th, Brad Hortlin, 55. Paul Clark, number 82, was 8th. Daniel Russell, 57, was 9th. And Tortola rounded out the top 10 ahead of Jack Artist, Glyn Griffiths after a spin, Jake Sturt and Alan Harmon, who was in the lead in the very early stages of the race. Almost forgotten about that, it seems so long ago. 15th was Mark Rue, then Barry Stewart, Steve Brown, Dave Berry, Niall Gagan and Christopher Summers, rounding out the top 20 at the end of an excellent weekend's racing for the low costs. Always produce great action around here at Silverstone, and they can also be relied to produce great slipstreaming action at Mallory Park as well, and that's the venue for the next round of the championship in about a month's time. So do join us at Mallory for that one. Still got, I think, 5 races to come this afternoon as the top 3 make their way into the pit lane. There is 19, Daniel Garrett, our race winner. To his right, our left, is number 99, his brother Ryan Garrett. And then at the back, it's the number 4 car of Lewis Ward.
Was the double number 1 fingers there for Daniel Garrett. Obviously back-to-back victories in the Yokohama Low-Cost Championship, and they have they've worked very well together.
Come here, mate. Come here.
Love that.
Well done,
the brothers, first and second. Oh, it was a little bit awkward. Called him Lee.
Anyway, let's head down. Kieran Mogg will hopefully get all the names right when he speaks to the top 3.
Thank you very much. Oh.
Well, we're down here with the top 3. And Daniel, I'll let you get out of the car, but you look absolutely ecstatic about that.
Yeah, 1 and 2 with me. Well, I can't call him my little brother because he's older than me, but he's my little brother really. And it's our first proper podium together. We've put a hell of a lot into it, and it's paid off. Yeah, I'm very happy.
So obviously, he just missed out on the podium yesterday. He did, but you got on the podium. You both got on the podium today. What a weekend!
Yeah, fantastic. You know, Alan taking the lead, helped him along a little way, and he had so much pace. You know, and I think there were so many cars that could have led that, But just, yeah, all three of us, yeah, couldn't have gone better.
Yeah, you look absolutely ecstatic with that. So congratulations, obviously, on that.
Thank you very much.
Cheers. We'll move on to your brother then. So Ryan Garrett, Ryan, your first podium with your brother.
Yeah, brilliant.
1-2.
Proper.
Amazing result.
I'm absolutely chuffed with that. It was race of my life. It was absolutely brilliant. Well done to Lewis and Dan. Absolutely brilliant. Speechless, really.
Bit of redemption from yesterday.
Definitely, yeah. I think it was a bit annoying. I think the results would have been slightly different. I think we'd have been sat in the same positions, but hey ho, racing's racing, and accidents happen and whatnot. So.
Obviously, at the end of the race there, I saw you jump out the car and obviously go and hug him. Is there no sibling rivalry there?
Not at all.
Really?
If we were coming into that very last corner, 100% I'd have tried to outbrake him, as he would have exactly done the same to me. I do have a feeling he may have slowed down on the third or fourth lap to try and have a bit of more of a race, but there is no keeping up with him. He's an absolute missile. He's the champion for a reason.
Yeah. Well, congratulations on the podium. Glad to see you up here.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, thank you. We'll move on to third place, Lewis Ward. Lewis, again, obviously you were right in that battle then. That was full on.
Yeah, it was, yeah. Up against the two Garretts. Great fun, yeah. Swapped places so many times, especially me and Ryan. Neither of us quite had the pace to stick with Dan today.
Do you reckon you could possibly keep with him for the next one?
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, it's Silverstone. It's Dan Garrett's track, really. He's always been very quick around here. We'll go to Mallory next. Bit more technical than here, not a lot, but I think we can. Yeah.
Well, looking forward to it. Congratulations on the podium.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I just want to say thank you to my sponsors as well, Premier Wheels, Hayden Electrical, all my friends and family that have come to watch, especially my wife, putting up with me with a newborn baby while I'm working on the car. So, thanks, Ellie.
Cheers, thank you very much. All right, so that wraps it up for the Locust for the weekend. And coming up next, we have the MX-5s.